And yeah, Pog juice, passion orange guava. So very good. It's a local favorite. And trust me, adults, it goes well with rum. Yeah, I call it notorious POG. Really good stuff. Now the guavas are loved by our wild pig population, right? I know we got somebody here from Texas, right? You got wild pigs in Texas. Yeah, and if you're homesick, I'll show you your cows later. We got some Texas Longhorn steer. But pigs love to eat guavas, right? And they especially love to eat them after they've fallen on the ground and fermented. Yeah, pigs like to get a buzz on like humans sometimes, guys, if you didn't know this. And they spread those seeds naturally along the stream beds and jungles of Hawaii. I don't think I have to explain how that natural process works, but they pretty much naturally proliferate those guava spores. So if you hike up a stream long enough in Hawaii, you would definitely run into guava eventually. It's quite abundant all over Hawaii. Now, one of the few plants I'm talking about today that's actually endemic, native, found only here in Hawaii, is the beautiful, the sacred koa tree, okay? It's spelled K-O-A like the campground, right? But it's pronounced koa. Now you can see that small tree on the other side of the bananas with the sickle-shaped leaves. We have some baby ones with the blue tags. Don't let the size of that tree deceive you. Give it 80 years, that tree will be well over 100 feet tall. It represents what would be the upper canopy of a native Hawaiian jungle forest, right? And if you want to know, well, let's just say valuable wood is an understatement for this wood, okay? There's actually a dining room table and chairs available in Wailea for the low price of over $100,000. So if you ever get invited to somebody's house, they have a co-wood dining room table, chair, stay for dinner. It's going to be really good. Now, because of that value, it's highly protected now. They got down to 6% native koa forest. They fully protected in the 90s, but before that, if you found a full-grown koa tree, you cut it down, you could sell the wood off $30,000, $40,000. Buy yourself a brand new Toyota truck and 4Runner. We have a lot of those here in Hawaii, if you haven't noticed. Now, the wood itself, like I said, was used by the Hawaiians, ocean-going canoes, well over 100 feet long, weapons, that kind of thing. Modern-day use, a lot of high-end ukuleles, guitars, furniture, that kind of stuff. But the wood is so valuable, so protected. If you get caught cutting one down illegally, you don't have the proper permits from the state, it's like $10,000 fine, possibly years in jail. So, yeah, the hills around us here on the 16th volcano, most of that wood is ironwood. It is not native to Hawaii, brought here as lumber. It's kind of invasive, kind of takes over. So once they cut down, koa trees, these trees kind of took over. And you also have noticed those beautiful pine trees. Those are the James Cook pine. Yeah, the pine tree was planted all over the world by the British Empire for sailing masts, right? You've all heard of Captain James Cook, right? And he planted those. So they're good for sailing masts, for spare parts, but they're also good at sequestering water through fog grip. So when they cut down the forest, they're like, hey, wet and less rain. What do you know? And then they planted those trees trying to get those rain clouds back, right? To attract it. One of those full-grown pine trees can sequester 200 to 300 gallons of water in a day, right? But it changes the pH of the soil, right? Because it's not from this island, not from Hawaii. But it's very useful, and it's beautiful on the golf courses as well. But the British Empire really cared about it. Now, I just passed the breadfruit, guys. Has anybody ever had breadfruit before? Okay, it's very nutrient dense, very good for you. It's categorized, as we call in the industry, a canoe crop. And if you don't know what that is, that's 28 plants the early Polynesian settlers brought with them along the ocean, not only to sustain life, but to plant when they discovered new islands. Now, if you didn't notice here, Hawaii is out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the giant ocean called the Pacific. So we've had our own unique evolution apart from the rest of the world. So there were no food crops until man got here and brought them. So it's a good thing they had those canoe crops to plant when they discovered Hawaii. Breadfruit is very important, very nutrient dense. In fact, it's so important, the British Navy, you guys remember the mutiny on the Bounty, right? That was the only mutiny in British Navy history. Captain Blythe was bringing breadfruit from Polynesia all the way to Jamaica for what they called in the movie slave fodder, right? It was nutrient dense back in those days. That journey did not go over well for Captain Blythe. If you've seen that movie, sexy young Mel Gibson, Liam Neeson, Sir Anthony Hopkins plays Captain Blythe. Very good movie. But that just goes to show you how important breadfruit was to it's Polynesia, but even to the world. A full-grown breadfruit tree, these are little guys, can provide up to 800 pounds of breadfruit in a year. So back in the Hawaiian Kingdom days, they had breadfruit throughout Lahaina, providing shade to the population, but also free food, right? Those trees are socialist, yeah. Free food, and they're very good for you. You process it much like you would a potato. You can roast it like a potato, make French fries out of it. Very good for you. I actually have a recipe book with 28 different recipes from breadfruit. Now this next one here is noni. This is also a canoe crop. Has anybody ever had noni juice? Amazing medicinal benefits. It helps to regulate hormones in the body, polyphenols, anti-cancer. But this tree, guys, the fruit, okay, that's what they make the juice from, has the nickname of the vomit tree, yeah. As we all know in life, medicine doesn't always taste good, right? So the juice is amazing. I bought it at Costco, but I know firsthand why they call it the vomit tree, okay? You want to mix that juice with smoothies, fruit juices, whatever you do, don't take a direct shot. Not a good idea. The leaf could be made into a normal tasting tea. It's a detox tea. Hawaiians were masters of agriculture and utilizing all parts of a plant if they could, minimizing waste. It's an amazing concept, right? Living sustainably at one with nature. Nothing our modern society could learn from. But from the roots of that plant, you could make a black ink, and from that black ink they would make kappa artwork. So all three parts of the plant were utilized. And it's a good thing that plant was so useful, because I'm telling you, with that taste, there's no way they would have brought it on the ships if it didn't have a use for it. Now on either side of us, this is a little different. These beautiful palm trees are called the Manila palms. We got all kinds of palm trees that grow here in Hawaii. If you haven't noticed, we have amazing climate, right? Now this is called the Manila palm. Now you see the red seeds, they start off green, they turn a bright scarlet red. It gives it the nickname of the Christmas palm. Now in our modern era, you can see they're just a beautiful looking tree, good for decoration in people's yards. Now back in the plantation era, this tree was classified as non-edible, but medicinal. Okay, now listen up, this is very important. If you eat too many of those red seeds right there, you will fall asleep, stop breathing, never to wake up again, right? You have to know how to titrate your medicine in life. One of my favorite words. But if you suck on one or two of those red berries, the sap that comes out has a numbing quality. It's an anesthetic. So if you have a toothache or a cold sore, we got any dentists here, maybe? Okay. In the pre-modern dentistry days, that was your remedy for those kind of ailments. It takes the pain out and numbs the mouth a little bit. So that has a very good use. But you know, nowadays we got modern pharmacies, dentists for that. So now people just grow in their yard. Beautiful tree. Now here on the left, I'm sure some of you maybe have grandkids, you know, maybe seen the movie Lilo and Stitch, right? Maybe seen that show, maybe the movie. If you have, you know the meaning of the word ohana. Ohana means family. And often our distance guys off the left. And if you haven't figured this out by now, if you're facing backwards, my left is your right, and it's opposite day basically for you. We have the Texas Longhorn steer. Who's my Texas people? Yeah, if you're homesick, we got your cows right here, and the goats. Okay, now the goats were brought here by the early Polynesian settlers. They are portable on ocean-going canoes and edible as well, so they brought them here with pigs and chickens. The cow was a different story. Another guy, Captain George Vancouver of the British Navy, you know. You got any Canadians here from Vancouver? No? We had some earlier. He gifted the king 1 bull and 4 cows. Now, the king was a wise person. He knew 5 cows, 1 nation, 1 barbecue, they would have been gone, right? So he needed to protect their life. He put a kapu on them so they could proliferate in number and propagate the species. That 1 bull did a good job. 50 years rolled by. There were so many cows running through the jungles wild, causing havoc on the ecosystems, running through farms rampantly, just damaging things. His descendant, King Kamehameha III, 50 years later, said, hey, we have no cowboys. These things are getting out of control. So he imported vaqueros from Spanish California, right? I'll say that sexy word again, vaqueros. Brought them here to Spanish California to teach the locals how to be a cowboy, cattle ranching skills. And we've had cows in the cattle industry ever since. If you go up to Makawao, we got a rodeo up there on the 4th of July. Does anybody know the Hawaiian word for cowboy? If you've been to Hawaii, you might have noted this. You'll see it on menus too. A paniolo is the modern word for cowboy. So if you like paniolo, pizza toppings would be meat toppings, right? Now, this word is an amazing word, okay? Now, this won't work in Google Translate. I've tried. I've learned this from a local, okay? This is 2 Hawaiian slang words put together to make the word for cowboy, paniolo. So let me break it down for you. Pani means smash, and olo means balls. And that was the first day of training for those new cowboys. Not a good day at work. So here on the right, guys, this is the ancient of the hapu fern, okay? Now, I'm sure some of you by now, since '92, have seen Jurassic Park, right? So guaranteed this fern is some of the set shots of that movie, as they filmed many of those movies, all of them here in some parts of Hawaii. This is the earliest planted Germany in Hawaii, one of the earliest, okay? Now, I'm from the Northwest Washington. I know ferns like this, it's a weird looking fern, it's got a trunk. But this fern propagates via spores, not seeds, right? And spores can fly up into the jet stream, crossing thousands of miles of ocean, that's science, and led in the newly cooled off lava rocks of Hawaii. So one of the earliest plants in Germany. They grow very old, over 100 years old, 30 feet tall, right? Now, Hawaiians even discovered a use for this fern. The trunk there, the fiber on the side of the trunk is soft and fuzzy like cotton, so they would use it for bandages to stop bleedings, and if you needed to stuff a pillow and a mattress, you've maybe eaten all the birds, and there's no more chickens, and there's chickens. They would stuff pillows and mattresses with that soft fiber, so they found a very good use for that. On the Big Island, if you get a chance, there's actually forests of these ferns. 30 feet tall, really old, beautiful fern. Now I'm going to teach you a lot of Hawaiian words, guys. I talked about how I'm going to open a coconut, right? The Hawaiian word for coconut is niu. That's spelled N-I-U. Niu. My really bad joke is that was Neo's cousin in The Matrix. They canceled him out. Yeah, not a good one. I don't break that one out very often. Now, guys, anybody know the Hawaiian word for cow? This is my best one. The Hawaiian word for cow is pronounced pipi, okay? It's spelled P-I-P-I. Now, if you do have to go number one in Hawaii, take your dog outside. We call that going shishi here in Hawaii. Take your dog out for shishi. But it's very important you know the Hawaiian word for cow, and I'll tell you why. When you're at our restaurants, you're looking at the appetizer platters. They look delicious, right? But you want to add some steak bites. You want to add some beef ribs. You got to order the pee-pee poo-poo platter. The restaurants love me. I do. So on the right here, I didn't make the words up, man. I'm just telling you how it is. Now, anybody gone to the hula dance yet? Anybody want to demonstrate their hula dance skills? I had one guy get out one day, start dancing. I just drove off. So yeah, it's a beautiful song and dance. Now, the original hula skirt was made out of this plant, so depending on how much you eat at the luau, you take 150, maybe 200 or so of those leaves, string them on the way, shred them. That's the original hula skirt. If you've ever had that delectable deliciousness called lau lau, fish and pork wrapped up in 2 sets of leaves, cooked in the ground as the tea leaf and the sacred taro leaf. Now, you'll see this around town, Airbnbs, hotels. It wards off evil spirits. It's for good luck. Everybody wants that in life, especially on holiday. Now, the red tea leaf there in the middle, that variety, back in the Hawaiian Kingdom days, exclusive use only for the royal family. Kapu, punishable by death. So if I was living back in those days, I got caught making sexy hula skirts, growing up in my backyard, off of my head. Yeah, punishable by death. Have you guys heard of the kapu laws? I mentioned it earlier. Other examples of kapu laws. This is a set of laws before the missionaries came to Hawaii, right? Men and women could not eat meals together, punishable by death. That could be good or bad depending on your situation. You could cast a shadow on the chief, his house, or look him in the eyes, punishable by death. I would have not lived very long. I would have messed one of those up. You gotta know where the sun is at all times. So the jackfruit tree, guys, we got any vegetarians? Okay, nobody has to get off, okay. The jackfruit is a pulled pork substitute for my beautiful vegetarian demographic. In India, they make a green curry out of that. It's the biggest fruit in the world. I think the world record for one piece of fruit off the tree is over 100 pounds. And it tastes like juicy fruit bubble gum when it's ripe. An amazing, amazing thing. So guys, right here is my stage. After the tour, after I do my little talk about the coconut, you can check out Del Zarillo's studio right there. He is a world-class wood carver. He has 4 sculptures in the Vatican, but he's walking and talking, right? Not many people can say that. And then right here at the stage, meet me, guys. If you're in the middle there and you want to sit, you can probably hear everything I say if you just stay there. So I'll meet you at the stage, guys. Watch your head getting out. Thank you, Dale. Even if I left somebody, they could probably catch me. I don't go that fast. Here we go. Full G-forces away. So guys, if you haven't noticed, the middle Maui got a lot of citrus, kind of replacing what used to be sugar cane. We're giving Florida a run for their money, yeah? We get some citrus market here. But right here on the right, guys, this is my second favorite plant on earth. Guess my first. But I'm from a town called Bellingham, Washington. If you don't know where that is, that's 80 miles north of Starbucks headquarters, 20 miles south of Universal Healthcare. Basically what that means is I have to drink coffee by law twice daily or I go to jail. I call it work juice because that's how we get there. Right, so right here are the coffee trees. We are the only state when the imports stop, guys, if that ever happens, that can grow coffee for work juice and cacao for chocolate. We got that good climate, right? Now, I picked coffee myself. It was fun. One day of picking, 4 days of processing by hand. I'm never doing that again. Just go to the store. Trust me, it's much easier. We have a Kona variety, of course, which is grown on the Big Island. There's Pinky Berry, there's Mocha. Many varieties of coffee. They were in-house roasting some coffee here today in the front store. So, yeah, great connoisseur, great coffee, man. I'm not talking about Folgers, right? The good stuff. Now, here on the right, you must try our local pineapple grown here in Hawaii. If you have not, you must do so. We have some of the sweetest pineapples in the world simply for the fact that we do not have native hummingbirds here in Hawaii. If you're a hummingbird lover, this is not your state. Okay, they drink the nectar of fruits, lowering the sugar content. And they do not grow out of trees. They grow out of these neon-looking anorexic aloe plants on the ground, okay? That pineapple comes out of the top. It is actually a berry, scientifically, botanically, just like coffee, just like banana, actually. Guess what? Western Europeans misnamed something in the 1800s. It looked like a pine cone, and apple was a general term they would just throw around if they didn't know how to quite classify it botanically. As we all know, science evolves as well. So try our pineapples. The 2 most famous varieties that I know of are, of course, our famous Maui Gold pineapple 7650. It's a botanical designation. Useless fact, but it might win you a bar trivia someday. And the Royal Hawaiian by Dole that grows on Oahu. This is the kalo plant I was talking about, sacred to the Hawaiians. It is a canoe crop. From that, they make poi, and you can eat the leaf in the stem. Sacred to the Hawaiians, and oftentimes the first solid food a baby eats is the poi. And that is dryland style. You go up to Hana, Kenai Peninsula, they grow wetland style in flowing water, right? Now here is the plant that, no joke, changed my life forever, guys. All my life I hated bananas until I moved here. There's over 100 varieties of bananas in the world total, and Chiquita gave us the worst one. It's the Cavendish variety. It's mushy, it's flavorless. This is the one that changed my life forever. I ate one of these in front of my mom last year. She cried in joy and happiness. She never thought she'd see me eat a banana in my life. Okay, our banana bread is famous. That's because of this variety. There's a red banana from Cuba I had in Hana that had a peach taste. And a couple of weeks ago, guys, I had the blue Java, the ice cream banana. It tastes like vanilla and a marshmallowy texture. It blew my mind. I talked about it for like 3 hours. It was amazing. Our bananas are amazing here. Try them. We have them in the store, both the blue Java and the apple banana. And it is not a tree, right? Everybody calls it a banana tree. It is actually an herb. In fact, the world's largest herbaceous flower. And like I said, that fruit is botanically a berry. So it is a trinity, a rarity in the plant kingdom, the herb, the flower, the holy berry all in one. Now check out the baby bananas growing around the adult banana. There are no seeds. They grow from a rhizome, which makes them a distant cousin to gingers. Those baby bananas grow from the same rhizome. They harvest the adult banana, and those babies just keep on keeping on, right? Copping eating. The species do what they do and grow very prolifically for us. Right here on either side of us, this is the big daddy during the plantation era, sugar cane known as co. This is not the primary source of sugar now in America. It seems to be corn syrup unless you go to Trader Joe's. The biggest brand, we don't have Trader Joe's here in Hawaii. My one complaint, no Trader Joe's. Now, the reason we still grow it here, we have a distillery opening up in about 6 months. So guys, we can have a mojito made from the rum, made from the sugar cane in about 6 months. The plantation era officially ended in 2016. The largest producer of sugar cane in the world now is Brazil, and they do that for ethanol purposes. So our official third industry, plantation era, is over. We're directly, fully invested in the fourth industry of Hawaii now, which is tourism. So I have a job thanks to you guys. Watch your leg, guys. Right there. Yeah, don't want to. Watch your leg there. Get it on the inside, bro. Yeah, there we go. Safety first. That's right. That's why we have those seatbelts. The first industry of Hawaii, guys, if you didn't know this, was sandalwood. Now, in the 1800s, it was not like Romans that bathed every day. Europeans stank, right? Versailles stank. They needed perfume, cologne, and incense, and that was sandalwood, the main component. The second industry was whaling, if you didn't know that. So we've had 4 main industries of Hawaii. Now, right here on the left, if you like brunch, this might be one of your favorite trees. This is the avocado toast tree. Toast sold separately. That's a separate tree. But we have many avocados here in Maui. I love the butter avocado. I have that on a salad. I have a diverse palate. I enjoy good salads. And yeah, it is actually a water-intensive crop. If you didn't know this, it actually uses 10 times more water than a tomato plant. So that's an issue in some parts of the world, because you know what? Humans need water too. Can't all go to the crops. You got to manage things. Now on either side of us, it is probably the world's most popular fruit. Raise your hand if you love mangoes. This is the Hayden mango variety. They're not quite ready yet. Get about a month or two, and these trees will be laden with delicious mangoes, and they don't have fibrous, stringy qualities like those Alphonse mangoes you get on the mainland, so they're very different. There are over 100 varieties of mangoes in the world, just like bananas, just like many other fruits and vegetables. And right here on the left, we got mature bananas. In the middle row on the right, that's a red dragon fruit. Has anybody ever had red dragon fruit? Yeah. It's good. Mellow taste, but watch out, it's like eating red beets, so don't freak out the next day, right? Yeah. And then you got more mature taro down there. That's going to be made into poi, surely. Now on either side of us, guys, I told you I love Snoop Dogg. These are nut trees. These nut trees are macadamia nuts. These nuts are the hardest nuts to crack in the plant kingdom. 300 pounds per square inch to crack these nuts. These nuts are not native to Hawaii. These nuts are native to Australia. And these nuts, macadamia nuts, are #2 agricultural export in Hawaii. Who likes macadamia nuts? Yes. I had no idea they go well with seafood dishes. It's not just desserts. Very culinarily diverse nut there. On the Big Island, guys, that's where you go to the big orchards on the Big Island. We don't have that specialized machinery to crack those nuts open, so we just leave them for the birds, quite literally. But the farm is called Mauna Loa, and here in Hawaii, if you want to take some of those home with you, like most things out here in the Middle Pacific, for value, go to Costco. It's just how it is. Yeah, Mauna Loa brands. On either side of us, we have Chinese fan palms, very decorative, very beautiful jewelry made from the seeds, like sustainable jewelry, and the seeds turn black and purple, so they make leis and jewelry. And we got Chinese okra, Japanese eggplant, and a squash down there that is actually a canoe crop as well. This is our roller coaster, guys. Raise up the hands. Adrenaline rush. I'll put a zig and a zag in, and I'll avoid the cars because I'm a professional. Here we go. In the shade I go. those legs in. Now, I love a good shade tree. I live in Lahaina. That's the land of relentless sun. This is the monkey podwood tree from Africa. Now, when I first came here, I thought somebody called it a monkey pad tree, like monkeys live in them. We don't have monkeys in Hawaii. I've seen the videos in India, parts of Asia. Those farmers markets with roaming troops of monkeys cause all kinds of troubles. We do not need that drama here in Hawaii. They would take over our farmers markets if they ever got out of the zoo. We'd be in trouble. Now, guys, before you leave, you got coffee, you got smoothies, you got corn syrup-free popsicles. They're called Shaka Pops because fruit is sweet enough. They're locally made, and we got snacks in there as well. And then the farm store, we got happy cab drivers too. They're having a good time. Everybody has a good time in Maui. Aloha, guys. Welcome. Check out the bananas, guys. You can't go wrong. I'm telling you. And the aunties, the people inside, the ladies will help you out. And if you want to get hooked up with that locally roasted coffee, earlier today they were roasting it as I drove by. I love the smell of fresh roasting coffee. I don't know about you guys. That's a great smell. It's like I'm back in a dark alley in Seattle. I love coffee. That's how I'm Brian, brought to you by coffee. That's how much I love it. I make it to work every day. Now right here, guys, this is a little maze. You can get lost in the maze. So if you got grandkids next time, get them lost in the maze, go have a Mai Tai. And come back and find them in the maze. And then if you want to learn about history, that's the education hall there. They got photos of the Plantation era, items on display. It's a good thing to know your history, but that is the Plantation era. All that kind of information. Now, thanks for coming today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Spread the aloha, spread the love. I just learned today my ex-fiance is having her second kid, so on that note, I do humbly and respectfully accept tips and gratuities. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I didn't write the rules, baby. So hold on, that's the roller coaster right there. That's the end of it. I swear. So guys, thank you very much for coming today. If you want to test your sense of smell and taste, this is the noni tree. I'll give you $10 if you can actually ingest that fruit all by yourself. Don't ever do it, trust me. But it is an amazing plant, medicinally very good for you. So thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the sunshine today.